evening, everyone. It's good afternoon without TTTS. It's the Thursday talk show. Well, we've not been around for a long while due to COVID. But so far, so good. With how God has helped us, SCVM crew members have decided that this exceptional and interesting program should be back on air. My co-anchor for today is I'm Chike Jackman. Before I introduce our guest speakers, I would like to say Happy Valentine in advance. Our theme for today is love. Love. Now, before I will start introducing our guest speakers, starting from my right, Dr. Ile-Ife. Dr. Ile-Ife is a senior lecturer.
He's not on seat.
In his absence, I'll introduce him. Dr. Ile-Ife. Dr. Ile-Ife is a senior lecturer at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Department of University.
Economics.
Also on my left is Dr. Oyedu. Dr. Oyedu is a chief resident and a senior registrar, Department of Ophthalmology, Obafemi Awolowo University. You're welcome. Dr. Oyedu, what is love?
Adiola, speak up.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me on your program this morning. So yes, you asked me what is love. I'll say love is a feeling of affection, a feeling you have for someone you care about. So love is essentially affection, could be between father and mother, between parents and their children, between siblings, between friends, between co-workers, between husband and wife. So love is what makes the world beautiful. Thank you very much.
As I've heard from Dr. Oyedu, love is what makes the world beautiful. Everyone, boom! Doctor, why is love important?
Okay, thank you. Love is important because that's what makes everyone care for each other. You come to school, you don't have a pencil or you lose your pencil. It's love that will make your friend give you a pencil. Love is the reason why even when some things are not convenient for you, you decide to do it because you care about the other person, you care about the person's feelings. Love is the reason why when somebody does something wrong to you, instead of reacting in a very, very bad manner, being too angry with the person, you correct the person in love. Love is important because that's the reason why we are all here today. Without love, we won't be here, we won't be gathered here because it's love that makes our teachers leave their homes, leave their children every single day to come and teach you, to come and take care of you. It's love that makes your parents spend the money they earn on sending you to school. So love is important because it's what helps us do everything we do the way we do it. Helps us be nice to people around us, helps us to even take care of us, but you have to love yourself too. So love is very important. Thank you very much.
So, Ma, in line with what is going in the world, on the world, do you still think love exists?
Yes, I still think love exists. I just mentioned that without love, your teachers won't be going the extra mile they always go to for you to make sure everything is fine. Just yesterday, 2 of my kids were ill, and so many teachers reached out to us. Some other parents also reached out. Without love, this wouldn't have happened. So yes, love still exists in this world today.
Ma'am, one of us wants to know why every 14th of February is celebrated as Lovers' Day.
Okay, so February of 14th of February every year is celebrated as Valentine's Day, also known as Lovers' Day. There are so many stories regarding how it came to be, but the most popular one is about a man known today as Saint Valentine, who was sentenced to death because he believed in love. So back then, there was this, can I say, wicked emperor, Emperor Claudius, that's the story, who wanted to build his army. But he felt people were refusing to enroll in the army because they had strong ties to their families, to their wives, to their children. So he banned marriages between young people. But because Saint Valentine believed in love, he went ahead to continue to secretly join these people in marriage so they could always have their homes. So because of this, he was sent to prison and sentenced to death. And he was executed on the 14th of February. Well, the story is that his jailer, the person who was in charge of him in prison then, had a daughter who was blind. But despite the fact that Saint Valentine was already being imprisoned for love, he continued to care about this blind girl, continued to interact with her and take care of her. And just before his death, he wrote a letter to her and signed it, Your Valentine. So in honor of Saint Valentine, he was made a saint after his execution, after his death some years later. So in honor of this man who stood his ground for love, every 14th of February, Valentine's Day is celebrated, where people express love to each other, you exchange gifts, let people you care about know how much you care about them. Thank you.
From what you have said, Valentine's Day remarks the death of somebody. So why the celebration?
Yes, it was the day he was executed, but it's celebrated because he was executed for a purpose. He was executed because despite the fact that he knew the odds against him, he knew what he was up against, knew the kind of emperor he had. The emperor didn't want people getting married. He didn't want love celebrated, but this man stood his grounds. So in honor of this man and his big sacrifice, essentially sacrificed his life for love. So in honor of that act of love in itself is why we celebrate Valentine's Day.
Does this mean that love cannot be expressed specially on any other day?
I believe love should be expressed every day. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. Every single day, you be nice to each other. If you have a gift or something, a word of encouragement or words of appreciation to tell to people around you, you do it every day. So in the same way that we celebrate, essentially we appreciate each other, we take care of each other every day. But on our birthdays, there's always something special. That's the same way it is for Valentine's Day. Every day we appreciate each other, every day we can show love. But on this particular day is a day that is set aside specially for that purpose. But every single day, love can be expressed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma, this question goes to you.
Okay.
Can love be expressed through wickedness?
Okay. Love should not be expressed through wickedness. Well, unless the wickedness is just how the other person perceives it. For example, you correct your children at home. You sometimes our parents beat us at home for doing something wrong, or our teachers beat us in school for doing something wrong. Am I right?
Yes.
You may think that the person is being wicked to you, but eventually, when you grow up or when you look back, you realize the person was actually helping you, shape you, mold you into the kind of person you should be. So love cannot be expressed through wickedness. So if love is being wicked, then it is not love. But then again, we have to be careful to understand that not everything that is perceived as wickedness is actually wickedness. Your teacher gives you assignments. You come back to school and you don't do your assignments. You get punished for it. Does it make your teacher wicked?
No.
Is your teacher trying to help you?
No.
So your teacher punishing you for not doing your assignments, your teacher showing you love? Yes, your teacher is showing you love because your teacher is teaching you to be a responsible person. And this would always help you throughout your life. You're going to leave school someday. You have your own families, you will work, you will go to secondary school, you will go to the university, and all these little things will be important in making you the kind of responsible person you need to be to make us have a better nation. So love should not be wicked. However, be careful in interpreting acts of love as wickedness. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
But so ma, you are saying that what we perceive as wickedness is not actually wickedness, but because of the pain that it causes, we just think it is wickedness.
Okay, so I'm saying that it is possible that what you are calling wickedness may not be wickedness.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not saying that all things that cause pain are not wickedness. Somebody bullies you. Is bullying good?
No, ma'am.
So bullying is an act of wickedness. So you won't come back and say that even though the person has taken your snack without you offering the person the snack, that or somebody just keeps bullying you, you will not call that an act of love.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is wickedness. However, what I'm trying to say is that there are some things that you perceive as wickedness. I was once a kid, so I was once in primary school too.
Yes, ma'am.
There are some teachers we used to label as wicked. Because, okay, you come to school late, they tell all of you, go and kneel down over there. And you're wondering, why am I being punished for being late? Your teacher tells everybody to keep quiet and do their work. And some people decide to be naughty in class and you get punished. At that point, you are not happy. Nobody likes to be punished.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody likes to be spanked. However, looking back at it, you will realize that the person trying to correct you and trying to make you a better person is not being wicked to you. So we need to differentiate that from actual acts of wickedness.
Yes, ma'am.
People who go and steal, people who bully each other. So that is different from being corrected. That's what I'm trying to separate. Because children tend to term being corrected or being reprimanded for wrongdoing as wickedness. So I'm trying to differentiate that from actual acts of wickedness. So love is not wicked. Being corrected may actually cause you pain. It may not be physical pain, but sometimes you're upset that you are being told to stop doing what you actually want to do at that point. But you may be doing it at the wrong time. So that is not an act of wickedness. That's the person actually showing you love by correcting you and trying to mold you into the person you're supposed to be. I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain.
Yes, ma'am.
Does everybody understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you.
Just before we close, ma, as a mother and a doctor, can you please say something about love at home and in school and at work?
Okay, so let me start with love at home. Love at home, that would be love between daddy and mommy, love between the parents and the children,
Yes, ma'am.
love between the siblings, then love between that nuclear family and members of your extended family. Those are the various kinds of love we can have at home. You can even have love, you can also love your neighbor,
And yes, ma'am.
and you also love yourself. So love at home. Loving yourself means that you will take good care of yourself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You will rest when you're supposed to rest. You will take your bath, brush your teeth, wear good clothes, wash your clothes, eat good food because you love yourself. Because you love yourself, you will take good care of yourself. That's love for yourself. Now, love between parents and their children, it goes in both directions. Parents love their children, children love their parents. Because you love your parents, you wouldn't want to disappoint them, so you wouldn't disrespect them. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Love should not be disrespectful. So because you love your parents, you will always respect them. And because your parents love you too, they will also respect you. And they will also take good care of you.
Yes, ma'am.
So there will always be times, because we are human beings, where there may be some friction.
Yes, ma'am.
But because we all love each other, we correct each other in love. Because we are human beings, there will be times that you'll be so upset that, should I say, you will forget, or somehow you will not correct in love. You may get angry, but because you love each other, you will come back and apologize to each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is love at home. Love in school. Because you love each other in school, you love your teachers, you would not disrespect your teachers. Because you love your teachers, you would not want to disappoint them. So when they tell you to do your work, you will do your work and you will do it well. Because your teachers love you too, they will not see you doing the wrong thing and leave you alone like that. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you love your friends, you will not hurt your friend. So you will not push your friend down and make your friend fall. You will not take your friend's writing materials when you know your friend needs that writing material to write. At least you won't take it without asking, right? You will not tear your friend's books. You will not steal their snacks because you love your friend. And you will not tell lies against each other because you love one another. Now, love in the workplace. As you said, I'm a doctor. So love at the work, in my own workplace, would be love between my fellow co-workers and also love for my patients, right? So because I love my co-workers, I will do my work at the right time and make sure that everybody has a good day at work. I will not take my colleagues' belongings without asking, so that my colleague doesn't get upset and start looking for their things when they need it. Because I love my patients, I would try my best to make sure that they are not upset, at least within reasonable, within my capability. Most patients will come to the hospital upset, but you'll try to do your best to make sure that you calm them down and try to put a smile on their faces. Okay? Then also we have our various places of worship, the church, the mosque. Because we love one another, whether we are at that place of worship or outside, we will always try to do the right thing and be nice to one another. We won't try to pretend just because we are at church or at the mosque. Even when we leave those places, we'll continue to do the right thing and show love to one another. When somebody does something good, you appreciate them. Somebody gives you something, you say thank you. You do something to hurt someone, you apologize, you tell the person you are sorry. All these are acts of love. And sometimes when you feel inclined, you can go the extra mile by giving the person a gift. But love doesn't always have to be by gifting one another. By doing the right thing and being nice to one another. By saying excuse me when you need to pass, not just pushing the person away from the road. All those little things are acts of love too. Thank you.
Can two people love equally? If no, who should love more, the mommies or the daddies?
Well, the issue I have with that question is that it's difficult to quantify or to measure love. Different people have different love languages. Okay? So while you may always appreciate a gift. Yes, you may always appreciate a gift. She may always appreciate compliments. So me coming to you every day and simply complimenting you, while you are grateful for the compliments, if that is not what you really want at that point in time, thank you. You may feel that, okay, the person who gives you gifts actually loves you more than the person who compliments you. But the fact is that there is no instrument to measure love. So can two people love equally? I'll say yes, everybody has the capacity to love people, to love one another. But about the measurement, about trying to check if it's equal, we can't really measure love. So what we can do is, to the best of our capabilities, always try to be good, always try to show love to the people around you. And then again, be observant. If you realize that something you are doing to someone, you are doing it innocently, but it's causing that person pain. For example, people like to joke. Some people like to make jokes, and to them, they are causing no harm. They're just being funny. But if you realize that the person who is at the receiving end of your jokes does not like it, then you realize that at that point, the person doesn't feel that you are showing love. You think you are showing love by being funny, but the person doesn't like being laughed at. So you should also be observant, then try to self-correct. So while love cannot be measured, everybody has the capability to love themselves and one another. Thank you.
But nowadays, there are some fathers or mothers would separate their children in a way. So would you say that the love is equal from the father to the children with the mother, or from the mother with the children to the father?
Okay, so let me try to get your question. What do you mean by separate their children?
Like there's a fight between the father and the mother.
Okay.
And they have an equal amount of children. So they share half and half.
Okay. So, while the ideal thing is to love one another, we are all human beings. Nothing is written in black and white. So sometimes some things happen, parents have to separate. It doesn't mean they have stopped loving each other. But at that point, the marriage has come to an end. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that could happen because we are human beings and nobody is perfect. The same way, I'm sure there are some people that while you are cordial to them in school, some people in your school, you are not as close to them as you are to other people. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Not everybody will be called your best friend. But that doesn't mean that those people who are not your best friends, when you see them, you will not be nice to them. Does not mean that. Yes. So in that same manner, and also there are some people who, when you were in nursery class, you would have called your best friend.
Yes, ma'am.
But now, somehow, for some reason, maybe because you're now in different classes, or for some reason they've gone to other schools, they're no longer as close as you used to be.
Yes, ma'am.
So in that same way, because mommy and daddy are human beings too, so the kind of scenario you are trying to paint could actually occur where people drift apart. But it doesn't mean that they don't love each other or they stop loving their children.
Yes, ma'am.
But those kind of circumstances are just peculiar to their own particular situation. Do you all understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
I am not saying that mommies and daddies should separate. However, I'm saying we should not judge those who, for some reason best known to them, decide to. We are all human beings. Nobody is perfect. People drift apart. What worked well yesterday may not work well today. And for that reason, new decisions may be taken to take care of those peculiar circumstances. I hope you don't understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
I am not saying that everybody should start fighting and get separated. I'm saying that there are peculiar circumstances that make certain decisions to be made. Okay, so it doesn't mean that in those kind of situations that mommy or daddy loves any of the children less. It doesn't mean mommy and daddy hate each other. But they had to make certain decisions to take care of certain circumstances. Thank you.
Why do people prefer to have male children instead of female children when they are supposed to love their children equally?
That's a big question. And I'm not really sure how I should answer that question. Because when I was going to have my first child, I was hoping for a female child. And I had a female child. I had my second child also a female child. Then I had my third, which is a male child. So, why certain people decide or wish to have a particular gender, I cannot say. But then again, the reasons may be cultural. Certain cultures tend to prefer male children. And there are some cultures who actually prefer female children. But them having the other gender doesn't mean that they love that other child less. I'm sure there are some, you'll find some people who are expecting a child and they say, oh, I really pray that this child is a female. The way I was also hoping that my first baby will be a female. It doesn't mean that if God had given me a male child, I wouldn't love that child.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you wake up in the morning, mommy is packing your lunch for school. You are really hoping that mommy will give you rice because rice is your favorite food.
Yes, ma'am.
But mommy gave you rice yesterday. Gave you rice the day before yesterday. So today she decides that you're not taking rice, you're taking yam. You get to school, you open your bag, you meet yam. You'll tell yourself, oh, I wish mommy packed rice for me. But does it mean you hate the food in your food flask?
No, ma'am.
Does it mean you won't eat that food?
No, ma'am.
So in the same manner, while some people can wish for a particular gender, them not having that gender does not mean they won't love that child. So they will still love that child and take care of that child and do right by that child. They will do everything they're supposed to do for that child. They'll be responsible for that child. So that doesn't mean you will not eat your yam. You will still eat your yam. But then again, you can get back home and tell mommy, please tomorrow, give me rice. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
And if mommy decides that it's macaroni she's still giving you tomorrow, you will still eat that macaroni.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.